So yeah, good day to everyone. Sir Johnny here. Just came from from my night shift. Anyhow, I need to record this one because it is very important, this topic. So yeah, let's talk about our topic, which is the digestive system. So what is digestive system ba? Whenever we hear the word digestive system, what comes to our mind? It's all about digestion. But guys, not limited to, okay? Digestive system involves digestion, yes, but also absorption and elimination. When we say digestion, this is actually a breaking down, or our body breaks down yung food na kinain natin from large particle into a smaller one so that our body will be able to digest it. So digestive system involves hindi lamang po yung ating stomach, intestine. But guys, the digestive system starts from where? Sa may mouth pa lang natin, nag-start na ang digestive system. So what's the function? What are the functions of our digestive system? Number one, of course, it is the ingestion of solid and liquids. These are the foods and water or liquids that we take. Another one, digestion of organic molecules. Of course, organic dapat. Something na pwedeng kainin, edible, not something na hindi pwedeng kainin inorganic. What else? Absorption of nutrients. Like for example, you take some food, ano ba yung meron sa may pagkain na kinain mo? We have protein, carbohydrates, some other minerals. And lastly, as I mentioned to you, ang digestion hindi lamang about digestion, not just about absorption, but also elimination. Kung ano kinain mo, kailangan may labas natin yan in a form of what? Feces or urine. So these are the digestive system. So as I mentioned to you, it starts from mouth, going to your esophagus, stomach, intestine, large intestine, and then there you go. You will release it, or you're going to eliminate it in a form of feces. So digestive system consists of the digestive tract, and sometimes this digestive tract interchangeably tawag natin sa kanila is GI tract or gastrointestinal tract. Pero kung isipin mo kasi, GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. So, gastro means stomach. So, it starts from stomach? No, okay? It starts from where? From your mouth. So, bibig mo pa lang nag-start ng digestion. And as part of your digestive system, nag-start talaga yan sa may mouth. It is just that we can use it interchangeably. Meaning to say, pwede natin gamitin yung GI. Okay? GI or digestive tract or GI tract. Okay? What else? The tract is one long tube starting from, sabi ko sa inyo, from mouth hanggang sa may anus. What else? Digestive tract components. Tingnan natin ano. It starts where? So I mentioned to you, from mouth. Next, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. Isa-isahin po natin yan sa discussion natin na to, no? But again, I want to emphasize to you that in this discussion, very superficial lang tayo, ha? Hindi natin di-discuss in depth. But if you want to know more, well, of course, I can answer it to you or I can make another video for that. But again, ang course kasi natin, nursing subject lamang. So we will talk more, nursing. We will talk more superficial lamang, okay? So there are also some other organs, associated organs na tumutulong when it comes in the digestion and absorption. These are the salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Later on, we're going to discuss those things one by one. Then, they are the accessory organs na tumutulong when it comes to the digestion and absorption and elimination. Okay. So, what else? When it comes to the digestive tract, it has a different walls. Number one, we have the mucosa. Ito yung pinaka-inner linings po natin, pinaka-inner layer natin. So from the name itself, mucosa. So it secretes what? Mucus. And as we all know, when you say mucus, something na malapot, yes. Our GI tract or our digestive tract produces mucus. Starting from mouth hanggang sa may anus, it produces. Okay, nagpo-produce po talaga yan. Again, we're going to discuss it later on. Mas ma-emphasize pa natin ano ba yung mga mucus at what are the functions of those mucus na nire-release ng ating katawan in helping our body when it comes to digestion. Another one, we have the submucosa. Well, it's just above the mucosa. Okay, they contain blood vessels, nerves, and small glands. Okay, what else? After that, we have the muscularis. So sa may area na to, dito natin makikita yung mga muscle layers. Okay? Sa may muscle layers, iba-iba yung layer na to, no? We have the longitudinal, circular, and oblique muscles. So, bakit ganun? Okay, hindi ba to katulad ng ibang muscles natin sa katawan? Like, for example, skeletal muscles na single, mga strand lang sila. Strand. Well, ang GI tract natin, hindi. Ganito kasi sa may ganito kasi yun sa may skeletal muscle natin, di ba mga hibla-hibla? But in our GI tract, it's kind of different. Bakit? Okay? May longitudinal, meron din tayong circular, at meron din tayong oblique. Okay? Sir, bakit po ganyan yung itsura or yung layers or yung, what do you call this one? Strands ng ating GI tract? Well, simple lang. Kasi ang contraction ng GI natin is hindi lamang dapat limited to what? Ganitong contraction. Ang contraction niyan, like for example, in the stomach, ang contraction niyan is parang ganito. Okay? So, nagkakaroon na ng ganitong contraction, contraction, at the same time, ganito. Okay? So, as you can see, pinipiga niyang mabuti. Okay? Pinipiga niyang mabuti kung ano man yung kinain natin. And that is why it has a different muscle layers. And lastly, we have the serosa or tinatawag din natin na adventitia. Ito yung pinaka-outermost layer na sa may pinaka-ibabaw. Okay, the peritoneum is present. Tinatawag natin ito na serosa. We already discussed this one during our tissue. Kaya maalala ninyo. Now, peritoneum then called adventitia. Next, so as you can see, ito yung mga layers na sinasabi ko sa inyo ng ating GI tract. To be specific, the stomach. Okay, ito yung pinakaunang layer. We call it the mucosa. Okay, susunod sa kanya, submucosa, dito na natin makikita yung ating mga blood vessels and nerves. By the way, itong mucosa na to, as I mentioned to you, mucosa, mucus. Okay, kung mapapansin ninyo, it's kinda ciliated. May mga ciliated cells dito so that it will be able to produces yung mucus. Then afterwards will be the muscularis, kung saan makikita natin yung pinaka-muscles. So iba-iba yung mga strand dito, no? Kaya as I mentioned to you, it has 3 layers of muscles. Okay? And lastly, ito yung pinaka-outermost layer which is what we call the serosa. Next, let's talk about peritoneum. Although we have discussed this one before in our tissue discussion, pero sige, balikan pa rin natin. We have this what we call mesenteries, and then we have the omentum. Okay? So ano ba itong mesenteries na to? Tingnan natin itong picture na to para mas maging madali para sa atin naintindihan what mesenteries is. Okay? So itong nakikita nyo na to, okay, yung dilaw na yan, those are the mesenteries. They attaches doon sa ating intestine so that, okay, yung intestine natin will not fall off, hindi siya babagsak. Naka-attach siya sa may likuran, okay, backside of our abdominal cavities. Okay? Because mesentery is connective tissue of organs in the abdominal cavity and it attaches to the intestine so that as I mentioned to you, hindi babagsak yung intestine natin, nakakapit pa rin sila. At ang kumakapit sa kanila are the mesenteries. Next one, we have the omentum. So, ganun din ang ginagawa ng omentum natin, okay? Same with the mesenteries, the omentum actually holds the internal organs. Tingnan natin the picture na to. Okay? So we have here the lesser omentum, and then dito naman yung malaki, we have the greater omentum. So ganun din yung ginagawa nila. It holds the stomach and some part of the intestines. Okay? So that hindi basta babagsak. Mapansin ninyo, hindi naman naka-float yung stomach, hindi naman naka-float dyan yung intestine natin. There's something that holds it. And these are your mesenteries. Okay? Next. So ayan, peritoneum and mesenteries para makita natin in the medial view. Okay? Next. Let's talk about your oral cavity. Okay, so may oral cavity po natin. Oral means mouth. Okay, this is the first part of our GI or our digestive system. It contains stratified squamous epithelium and also dito rin natin makikita ang ating salivary glands. Okay, so ano ba function ng salivary glands? Salivary glands is very important. Of course, okay, pagpasok pa lang ng pagkain, nagpo-produce na ng saliva yung mouth natin or yung oral cavity natin. Bakit? Para saan? Okay, it will produces an enzymes that will break down some of the carbohydrates into a smaller one, into a glucose. Kaya nga, way back nung nag-aaral ako ng Nutri, one of my professor, I really admire her, pakagaling niya, ang sabi niya sa amin, kung gusto mo mas pumayat, pagkain mo, tagalang may pagmuya. Okay, hindi yung pagkain, konting nguya, luno na agad. No. Okay, what she recommended to us way back then is that pag kumain ka, tagalan mo ang pagmuya mo. Bakit? It will help you. Okay, it will help you in digesting food into a smaller one so that pagpasok sa may stomach, intestine, it breaks down into a smaller one. So less ang carbs, less ang papasok sa may katawan mo na nagkokos ng pagtaba. So nakakatulong yung saliva in breaking down those foods. Okay? It also cleanses your mouth. Napaka-importante ng laway. Okay? What else? It dissolves and moistens food so that pagpasok sa may bibig natin, mas madali natin siyang mailunon. Have you tried eating a biscuit na walang tubig o kaya naman tuyong-tuyo yung bibig mo, kaya naman pulburon? Napakahirap ilunon nun. So, ang function ng saliva is to make those foods smoothen. Para pag-soften and smoothen, para pagpasok, madali natin siya malulunon. Okay? Next, there are also some enzymes, katulad ng amylase. These are salivary enzyme that breaks down the carbohydrates. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, mas magiging mabilis ang pag-breakdown ng carbohydrates pagdating pa lang sa bibig po natin. So, nakakatulong yan sa pagpapayat. Although, maliit lamang yung ambag niya sa katawan natin when it comes to pagpapayat. But at least, nakakatulong. Okay? And also, we have the lysozymes. These are salivary enzymes that are active against bacteria. So, ibig mo sabihin, sir, itong enzymes na ito, nilalabanan yung mga bacteria? Well, in some way, yes. But also, it helps the good bacteria. Tandaan natin, na sa katawan po natin, isa po ang bibig natin sa may pinakamaruming part ng katawan natin because it holds hundreds of bacteria. Yes, napakaraming bacteria dyan. Okay, but good thing is, there are good bacteria naman. Okay, what else? We have the tongue. Okay, it houses the taste buds and mucus. Yes, okay, kung bakit ka nakakaramdam ng tamis, asim, alat, okay, it's because of your tongue. Okay, what else? Your tongue also helps when it comes in the mucus. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the oral cavity. Those are the different parts of our oral cavity. Although some parts ng oral cavity has been discussed to you during the respiratory system discussion. Katulad ng uvula, palate, okay, some other things, oropharynx, na-discuss naman na natin yan. So again, hindi ko isa-isahin pa. Ingay ng aso. Next one, we have the teeth, ngipin. Okay, so we have we actually have a 32 teeth in a normal adult. Okay, in a normal adult, we have the incisors, nasa harapan po natin. We have the canine. And then we have the premolars, nandito gawin after your canine. Canine is yung pinakapangal natin. Then we have the premolars and then your molars. Okay, usually yung ginagamit at panguya. And then, yung pinakamahirap pagka nagkaroon ka, your wisdom tooth. Okay, so, incisors po natin, as the name implies, it incised the food. Pero if you want something to tear up, of course, canine po yan. Pag nguya natin, and of course, we have the premolars and molars. Sa mga bata pa lamang, we have 20 primary teeth. Plural nga pala yun. We have 20 primary teeth. Okay? Primary, meaning to say, hindi pa po ito yung permanent teeth po nila. Okay? So kahit na ang isang bata, mabungi, tutubo yan. But when it comes to adulthood, pag nabungi yan, permanent na po yan. Okay? So, magkaiba ang primary teeth sa permanent teeth to primary teeth. Okay? So, each tooth has a crown, cusp, neck, and root. Asan po yan? Tingnan natin ito picture na ito. So, ayan. So, ito yung tinatawag natin na crown. Yung pinakataas naman natin, we call it the cusp. And then, we have this part. Okay, we call it the neck. And then the rest, we call it the root. Itong part po na to. If you have tried yung magpapasta ka, okay, minsan yung pang-grind ng tooth maabot dito sa may root. Kaya minsan nakakangilo, which is delikado. Minsan naman, hanggang dito lamang tayo sa may neck part. As you can see, malapit ang neck sa may nerve endings. Kaya nakakangilo talaga. Okay? So what else? Balikan natin ito, no? Okay, the center of tooth is the pulp cavity. Next one, the enamel is a hard covering protects against abrasions. Yung pinaka-outer lining po ng ngipin po natin. Then cavities are breakdown of enamels by acid from bacteria. Okay, so next, okay, we have the palate. Okay, we have hard palate and soft palate. Yung ngalang-alam mo. The only place na pwede mong kilitiin. Okay, this is the only place na pwede mong kilitiin. Okay? Kasi ang pagkiliti, that is known as a defense mechanism. Hindi mo pwedeng kilitiin sarili mo. Pero, kaysa nga lang using your tongue, pwede may kiss-kiss doon, nakakakiliti siya. This is the only place na pwede mong kilitiin ang sarili mo. Okay? Other than that, wala na. Okay? So, yung palate po natin, ito pinaka-roof ng ating oral cavity. Okay? Yan yung din nagsaseparate ng nasal cavity to oral cavity. Okay, what else? Sabi ko sa inyo, it divides into hard palate and soft palate. Hard palate, yan yung pinaka matigas kasi nga, okay, bony area yan. Pinakadulo, ito na extension niya, andyan din yung uvula, that is your soft palate. Andyan yung malambot. Okay? Next one, the salivary glands. It includes submandibular, sublingual, and then the parotid. Okay? We have the sublingual, ilalim ng dila. We have the parotid, and then the submandibular. Kaya nung primary function ng ating salivary gland, of course, it produces saliva that contains the enzymes na kailangan natin for breaking down of foods, as I mentioned to you during the introduction. Ngayon, meron tayong disease na tinatawag na mumps. Okay? Mumps, in Tagalog, beke. Okay? So, mumps is actually an inflammation of the parotid gland. Kaya kapag ka nagkaroon ka ng beke, tapos nakakita ka ng maasim, maglalaway ka, of course. Ang sakit nun. Kaya I've tried having a mumps when I was a kid. So, ang sakit kapag ka naglalaway ka. Bakit? Because it's an inflammation of your parotid gland. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, we have here the parotid glands. And then, sa mailalim natin, sublingual. Sub means ilalim. Lingual. Lingua meaning dila. Then, we have the submandibular. Mandible. Okay? Next, we have the pharynx. Ang pharynx, we already discussed this one way back nung nagdi-discuss tayo ng respiratory system. Okay? So, we have a throat. This throat connects the mouth to your esophagus. And as I mentioned to you last time, ang pharynx natin sa may tatlo, we have the nasopharynx, oropharynx, and then the laryngopharynx. Okay? Ang connection between your nose and your mouth is what we call the oropharynx. Okay? Kaya minsan, pag may kinain ka, natawa ka, minsan kanin, mapasok dun sa may ilong because there's a connection between the two. Okay? So what else? It has 3 parts, as I mentioned to you, naso, oro, and then the laryngopharynx. Next one will be your esophagus. Kung sa respiratory, pumunta na tayo dun sa may throat. Ito, hindi, of course. Sa esophagus, dun dadaan ang ating pagkain, tubig. Okay, and these are the tube that connects your pharynx to your stomach, and also it transports food from your mouth going to your stomach. It also joins stomach at cardiac opening. Okay? So ano po itong tinatawag natin na heartburn? Kasi kapag mahilig po ako sa may pagkakape, after a while, nagkakaroon ng heartburn, parang ang init ng aking dibdib, ng aking puso. Why? Bakit po nangyayari yun? Okay? So usually, ang heartburn ay nangyayari because of what? Okay? Tumataas ang gastric juices, yung acidity ng ating stomach. Okay? Because of what? Probably sa kape mo or kaya naman, inom ng soft drinks, smoking or eating or drinking an excess. Masyadong marami kinain mo. Okay? Sa may stomach, let's try to look at this picture. Sa may stomach natin, kumain ka na napakarami. Okay? So there's a possibility na magkaroon ng pwedeng tumaas. Okay? Ang esophagus po natin ay nahahati, meron diyang protector. Okay? Meron tayong protector dyan. Nang sa ganun, pag may kinain tayo, hindi babalik. Pag meron na sa may stomach, hindi na aakyat. Ito yung tinatawag natin na sphincter. Naalala pa what sphincter is? Circular muscle yan. Ang sphincter natin, makikita natin dito, tsaka dito. Okay? Ang main purpose na itong sphincter na to prevents the food or water to go back. Okay? Parang sa ganun, pagpasok, hindi na siya lalabas. Nagko-close na. Pag may pumasok, open. Pagka may papasok, open. Pag nakapasok na, close. So, yun ang ginagawa ng sphincter natin. But the thing is, marami kang kinain. Uminom ka ng maraming juice or coffee, alcohol, or whatever. So, ang tendency niyan, itong sphincter natin located here and here. Okay? Ito yung dalawang sphincter natin, pwede pong magkaroon ng opening dito. Okay? Dahil sa pagtaas dito. Ang sphincter na ito ay tinatawag po natin na upper esophageal sphincter, and this one naman is what we call the lower esophageal sphincter. Okay? This lower esophageal sphincter is tinatawag din po natin ito na cardiac sphincter. Okay? Cardiac sphincter. Sir, bakit? Okay? Related ba to doon sa may heart? Basically, no. It is just it's called cardiac sphincter kasi malapit siya sa may puso. Kaya kapag yung acidity tumaas dito, okay, tumaas yung gastric juice, since malapit ito dun sa may puso ng tao, mafe-feel natin na mainit. Yan yung tinatawag ngayon natin na heartburn. Okay, so that is the reason kung bakit po tinawag siya na heartburn. Eh sir, bakit po ako dumidigay? Ganun lang din yun. Pagka kumain ka, okay, since marami pong hangin dito sa may stomach mo, habang kumakain ka, pwede siyang tumaas. Yung tinatawag natin na belching, or in Tagalog, pagdighay. Okay, so yan. Next. Swallowing. Ang swallowing natin, okay, it divided into phases. Number 1 is the voluntary phase. When you say voluntary phase, okay, ngumunguya ka. And then ilulunan mo. Okay, voluntary phase yan. And tandaan natin, ang pagkain, food, once it enters your mouth, you started the mastication na yung pagnguya, we no longer call it food. Instead, we call it, okay, bolus. Bolus na ang tawag natin dyan, okay? So itong bolus na ito mapo-form sa may mouth and then ilulunan mo. That is the voluntary phase. Afterwards, okay, pupunta na ngayon tayo sa may pharyngeal phase in which, okay, the swallowing reflex will be initiated by bolus. Pag naramdaman ng ating pharynx na merong papasok, ilulunan na ngayon yan. Okay, this is actually a reflex. That is why kapag kumakain tayo, pwedeng voluntarily ilulunan natin, but sometimes involuntary nangyayari. It's because of this swallowing reflex. Now, once na may nag-enter dun sa may pharynx mo, oropharynx, ilulunan niya yan kaagad. Reflex po yun. Okay? And also, we have the esophageal phase. Dito naman, as the name implies, esophagus. So, pupunta na po from pharynx to your stomach through what? Your esophagus. So, these are the three phases of your swallowing. So, ano naman po itong tinatawag natin na peristalsis? Okay? Peristalsis is like a wave contraction, parang ganyan siya. Okay? Wave contraction. Ganyan. Wave contraction of what? Your stomach and your intestine. So, ganyan yung ginagawa niya. Okay? Let me show you. Yan. This one. Okay? So, ano nangyayari dito? Once na kumain ka, meron kang pinasok na pagkain, ang movement ngayon ng intestine, ganyan. Para siyang wave. So that yung pagkain na kinain mo, dire-diretso. Hindi siya babalik. So, ganun ang contraction ng ating peristalsis or yung movement na tinatawag natin, peristaltic movement. Okay? Next, okay, let's talk about your stomach. It is located in your abdomen. This is known as storage tank for food. Not literally storage, kasi pag pumunta rito yung pagkain, it will stay for a short period of time. Okay? 4 hours. But the minimum is 2 hours. It stays there for a while. Hanggat hindi pa nag-i-start in digestion sa may intestine, it will stay there. Okay? Kaya para siyang reservoir, but basically, it's not a reservoir. Okay, bakit? Because as time passes by, madadigest, lalabas at lalabas din siya from stomach to the intestine. It can hold up to 2 liters of food. Ganon karami. Try to imagine this one. Okay, tumbler ko. This one is about 1.5. So, 1 liter pala to. Yeah, 1 liter. So, dalawang ganito kaya ng stomach po natin. Okay? But again, it depends from one person to another. It depends on many factors. Kapag ka hindi ka sanay na kumain ng marami, of course, you will not be able to fill those 2 liters. It is just that our stomach can expand up to 2 liters. It can hold up to 2 liters of food. Again, it depends. Okay? Our stomach also produces mucus. Importante yan. Hydrochloric acid, protein digesting enzymes. They are very important when it comes in the digestion of foods. So sa may bibig mo, as I mentioned to you, mastication, masticate ka, ngumuya ka, you break it down into a smaller one. Pagdating sa stomach, i-break down pa yan ng stomach natin. Ganon kagaling, okay? It will be broken down into a smaller one because of what? The hydrochloric acid, your protein and digesting enzymes. So ano po kinalaman na itong mucus na to? Di po ba sa may mouth natin may mucus? Sa may esophagus natin may mucus? Pati rin po ba doon sa ating stomach may mucus? Answer is yes, of course. Kailangan yun, okay? So this mucus actually has function, okay, by doing what? Regulating your pH. pH where? In the stomach. Okay? I think later on, madi-discuss ko ba? I do not know. Anyway, discuss ko na ngayon, Okay? These mucus are very important so that it will emulsify the foods that we eat. It will smoothen the food that we eat, that food that we eat. What else? Another function of your mucus, as I mentioned to you, regulates the pH so that kapag kumain ka na maasim, ibabalance niya. Ngayon, pag wala nang laman yung sikmura natin, okay, yung stomach natin, this mucus will be able to help you na hindi makaramdam ng pangangasim. Kaso nga lang, pagka wala talagang laman for a long period of time, for an hours, medyo doon mo mararamdaman na nangangasim yung sikmura mo. Okay? What else? Ayan. It contains a thick mucus layer that lubricates and protect your epithelial cells, yung mga cells nandun sa stomach natin. And also, okay, it protects the wall from acid. So that itong acid na to, ma-regulate as I've mentioned to you. Okay? Next. Our stomach has 3 layers. Yes, as I've mentioned to you kanina, the longitudinal, the middle circular, and then the oblique. Kasi nga, ang contraction ng stomach natin is hindi yan katulad ng ating skeletal muscle na ganyan. Okay? Ang contraction ng ating stomach is pa ganito. Okay? Habang nagko-contract dito, habang lumiliit to, pinipiga pa yan. So, ganito yung kanyang contraction. It has 3 muscular layers. What else? It is also rugated. Okay, meron siya mga rugae or mga folds sa loob. Okay? Ano po itong chyme na to? Remember the bolus? Pag yung pagkain, food, nilagay mo na sa may mouth mo, tawag natin doon bolus. Once it enters your stomach, it's no longer a bolus. Instead, we call it the chyme. Okay, ito na po yung kinain natin. So, it's no longer food, it's no longer bolus. Instead, it is a chyme. Okay? Hanggang makarating yan sa small intestine, chyme ang tawag natin sa kanya. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi sa inyo na rugae, yung kulo-kulubot na yan. Okay, rugated po siya. What else? Ito yung mga layers ng muscle natin. As you can see, iba-iba yung layers niya. Tatlong klase. We have longitudinal, oblique, circular. Kasi nga, para doon sa contraction. Okay? Next, it has a pyloric opening. Ano po ba itong pyloric na to? Okay, this pyloric opening, this is an opening papunta doon sa ating intestine. And again, kung ang esophagus natin, merong upper esophageal sphincter, merong lower esophageal sphincter known as the cardiac sphincter. Okay, meron din po yung pagpunta doon sa may stomach going to your intestine. This part, ito yung tinatawag natin na pyloric opening. At yung nagsasara rito is another sphincter known as your pyloric sphincter. Okay? So, anong purpose na to? Of course, pag may kinain ka, napunta na rin sa may intestine mo, hindi na siya babalik going to your stomach. Okay? Hindi na siya babalik, hindi na siya aakyat pa. It will stay to your intestine hanggang magkaroon ng another digestion. Okay? Ang stomach po natin is, in comparison with the intestine, hindi siya ganun kalakas. In comparison to your intestine, hindi siya ganun kalakas sa may contractions. So, if ever, hindi niya ma-break down yung ibang mga foods, using the mechanical contraction and also with the use of those enzymes and acids, papasok po ngayon si intestine. Okay? But, I want to emphasize na pinaka-main function ng ating small intestine is more on where absorption na siya. Okay? So, ayan, we have the pyloric sphincter. Ano naman ito tinatawag natin na hunger pangs? Okay, what is hunger pangs? Well, have you tried hindi ka kumain ng lunch? Tapos, yung stomach mo parang gumaganon. Okay? That is your hunger pangs. Bakit nagaganon? Your stomach is telling your brain na kumain ka na. It's about time to eat. Bakit? Because your stomach is now empty. Wala na siyang laman. So, in order for this stomach to stop yung feeling na hunger pangs, you need to fill it out. Okay? Kailangan mo nang kumain. It's actually a reminder to your brain na you need to eat. Okay? So usually ang hunger pangs natin nangyayari yan for 8 to 12 hours. Bakit? Kasi ang gastric emptying, dito ba yun? I do not know kung nakalagay dito. Gastric emptying usually 4 to 8 hours. Okay? Ito yung ating gastric emptying. Pero ang pinakamababa na to is what? 2 hours. Okay? Sa mga light meals, 2 hours. Kapag heavy meals, maabot tayo 48 hours. Yung sobrang heavy talaga, including fats. Marami kang fats na kinain. Usually, from 8, maabot tayo ng 12 hours. Okay? Yan. Okay, yung emptying ng ating, what do you call this one? Stomach. Kaya nga minsan, pagka after 4 hours, breakfast ka, bandang alas 12, nakakaramdam ka na parang gutom ka na. Bakit? Kasi nga, nagkakaroon na ng gastric emptying. This is also the reason, This is also the reason kung bakit kapag napunta kayo ng hospital, may mga gamot, like for example, omeprazole, what else, Maalox, what else, Cremeles. Okay, yung mga gamot na yan, esomeprazole, yung mga gamot na yan ay binibigay po 2 hours before and after. Okay? Before and after. Okay, ano ibig sabihin dito? 2 hours after eating or 2 hours before eating. Sir, bakit? 2 hours before ka kumain. Bakit? Anong ginagawa ng ating gamot na yan? Let's say, for example, omeprazole. Okay, anong gagawin ni omeprazole? It will decrease it will not really decrease the pH. Instead, it increases the pH, okay, in our stomach. So from acidic, gagawin niya at least base or alkalinic. Okay, ganoon ang gagawin niya. Lalo na kapag nagkakaroon ng gastritis or kaya naman ulcer, omeprazole is very good. Anong gagawin niya? Okay? Yung pH sa may stomach natin, itataas niya. So, mawawala yung pagiging acidic. Bakit 2 hours before eating? Kasi pag kumain ka, okay, may laman yung sikmura mo, tapos uminom ka ng omeprazole, magkakaroon ka naman ng indigestion. Bakit? Simple lang, tinanggal mo yung acid eh. And remember that acid is important when it comes to the digestion in your stomach. Kaya yung mga gamot na to, such as omeprazoles, are being given 2 hours before or kaya naman 2 hours after. Bakit naman 2 hours after? Ito, gastric emptying. Okay? Okay, bigay tayo ng gamot 2 hours after kumain so that wala na pong laman yung sikmura. Meron mang laman yan, konti na lang. Pero pagka uminom ka kaagad ng omeprazole, as I mentioned to you, kakakain mo lang, minom ka kaagad ng omeprazole, delikado. Bakit? Again, acid in our stomach is very helpful in the digestion of food and then you're going to remove it. Delikado siya, no? Okay, magkakaroon ng indigestion. Okay, next one. These are the anatomy of your stomach. I already discussed this one to you. Okay, next one. Regulation of stomach secretions. Meron tayong tinatawag na cephalic phase. Ito actually yung first phase. So cephalic means head. So everything starts in your head. Sabi ko last time in my discussion, try to think of it, meron akong manggang kalabaw. Okay, I have here a mango, color green siya. Tapos meron akong sausawan dito na asin. Tapos itong mangga na to is bubot pa, berding-berde pa, binalatan ko, tapos maasim. Ano naramdaman mo? Okay? Diba nakakapanglaway? Because it's in your mind. So, yung brain mo, actually, pinaprepare ka sa may pagkain. So, naglalaway ka na kaagad. And that is the cephalic phase. Okay? What else? Pag may naamoy ka na masarap, like for example, chicken joy, lumpia, or whatever, okay, it triggers your appetite. Again, cephalic po yun. Cephalic phase. We will now move on to the gastric phase. So, from cephalic, okay, naglalaway, punta naman ngayon tayo sa may stomach. Gastric from the word gastro meaning stomach. So kumain ka na, may laway and everything, pumasok na ngayon sa may stomach mo. Anong gagawin niya? Gastric phase na tayo. Partially digested proteins and distension of stomach promotes secretions. So para matulungan yung katawan mo or yung your body when it comes to the digestion. Okay, next. We now have the intestinal phase. This is actually the third phase in which yung chyme na kinain po natin, okay, magkakaroon ng what happened? Magkakaroon ng acidifications. What else? Magsisecrete ng mga hormones that will inhibit the gastric secretions. So, what does it mean? Kapag ang pagkain, it touches the intestine, pumasok na siya rin sa may intestine natin, it will inhibit the hormone that will, it will secrete a hormone that is responsible in the inhibiting gastric secretions. Paano po yan? Kapag ang pagkain, pumasok na, do I have a picture here? Wala. Let me give you an example here. Yeah, this one. Ang pangit. Wala ba akong magandang picture dito? Wala. Okay, anyways. Wala akong magandang picture. Ito na nga lang. Okay, let me use this one. Okay, kapag yung pagkain natin, okay, from here, punta sa stomach. From stomach, pumunta na rito sa may intestine. Magkakaroon ng inhibition. Okay, it will stop temporarily or not really stop but minimize the action of your stomach. Bakit? Kasi pag hindi niya na-minimize yung action ng ating stomach, okay, ang mangyari dyan, tuloy-tuloy yung pasok, okay, ng pagkain galing sa may stomach going to your intestine. Maganda ba siya? Hindi. Kasi hindi siya kayang i-accommodate ng intestine natin. So, kailangan temporarily, ma-lessen yung action ng stomach or else, okay, dire-diretso ang pasok from stomach to the intestine. Okay? That's the reason kung bakit meron tayong intestinal phase. Okay, sa may intestinal phase, stop muna si stomach, okay, lessen the action, then intestine naman will do its job, which is the absorption. Okay? Ayan, let's continue the movement of your stomach. Okay, a while ago we discussed about peristaltic waves, the peristaltic movement or the peristalsis. Okay, so there's actually a mixing waves na nangyayari in our stomach. Okay, ito nga yung peristalsis na sinasabi ko sa inyo. It's a wave-like na contraction sa may intestine or sa may GI tract natin. Well, aside from that, meron pang iba. Okay, yung tinatawag nating segmentation mamaya. I'll show you what the segmentation looks like. Basta tandaan natin, yung peristalsis, wave-like yung itsura niya. At sa intestine, nangyayari rin siya. What else? There is dito pa lang pala papasok. The stomach emptying or gastric emptying. So I mentioned to you 4 hours. Pag medyo heavy meal tayo, maabot tayo 4 to 8. Pero yung pinakamahina natin 2 hours. Like for example, light meal lang kinain mo 2 hours, magkakaroon yan ng gastric emptying. Okay? Next. Ayan. So pagdating natin sa may small intestine, okay, our small intestine, roughly 6 meters. Ganun siya kahaba. Major function niya, absorption. But again, as I mentioned to you, mayroon pa rin konting digestion na nangyayari po rito. Now, chyme takes 3 to 5 hours to pass through your intestine. What else? Your intestine contains also an enzymes. Ganun, same with your stomach. Pero this time, sa may small intestine natin, merong mga madadagdag na enzymes. Later on, I'll tell you kung ano pa yung mga yon. Ang intestine natin are divided into 3 parts. We have tandaan ninyo to, DJI. Yan, DJI. Okay? D for duodenum, J for jejunum, and then lastly, I for ileum. Okay? So those are the 3 parts of your intestine. Yung unang part po natin is what we call the duodenum. This is the first part. It contains absorptive cells, goblet cells, granular cells, and endocrine cells that are responsible in producing some enzymes and also absorption. They contains microvilli and manifolds. Itsura rin ng ating, what do you call this one, stomach. They contain, ito na sinasabi ko sa inyo na may madadagdag, bile and pancreatic acid. Okay? Bile and pancreatic acid or pancreatic enzymes. Ito yung madadagdag. Pagdating pa lang sa may duodenum, meron kasing nakadugtong dyan ang ating liver and ang ating pancreas. Meron dong duct. Okay? Later on, I'll show it to you. Okay? That will produces or receives the bile and then the pancreatic enzymes. So, as you can see in this picture, we have the stomach, we have here liver, we have here pancreas. They are very important, okay, when it comes in the another digestion of foods. Okay? And saan sila connected? They are connected in your duodenum. Kaya hindi pwedeng mawala ang duodenum eh. Bakit? Pag nawala ang duodenum, delikado. Mawawala yung connection mo to your liver and pancreas. And as we all know, they are important when it comes in the endocrine and exocrine functions. Next, mamaya babalikan natin si liver and pancreas. Another one, we have the jejunum. Roughly, it is 2.5 meters long. And then the last part, we have 3 meters long, and that is your ileum. Okay, ito yung pinaka-last part. Bago tayo pumunta dun sa my large intestine. Okay, ito yung itsura niya. As you can see, we have here, okay, stomach, small intestine, and then pagdating dito, that is what we call the large intestine na. Okay? So, balikan natin yung ating movement. Sabi ko sa inyo, there are 2 movements. We have this what we call peristalsis and also segmentation. So, peristaltic movement and segmentation. Itong dalawang movement na ito ay importante when it comes in passing or movement of foods. So, kung ang peristalsis, para siyang wave, ang segmentation is kind of different. Bakit? Parang ganyan siya. Pinipiga niya yung pagkain hanggang mailabas niya or maipunta niya going to your large intestine. So, merong ganito, at the same time, merong ganito. Okay? I hope you imagine kung paano. As you can see in this diagram. Okay? So, ganyan yung itsura ng movement po ng ating chyme sa may intestine. Okay? Next. We have this what we call the ileocecal sphincter, another sphincter na naman. So kung kanina meron tayong pyloric sphincter, this time meron naman tayong ileocecal sphincter. Saan natin ito makikita? Between the ileum and your small intestine. Okay, let me show you a picture. Okay, this one. So we have here the small intestine. Yung ileocecal sphincter, dito natin makikita. Ito yung connection between the small intestine and then the large intestine. Okay? So again, as I mentioned to you, ano ba function ng ating sphincter? It prevents the backflow. So pagpasok ng pagkain doon sa may part na yun, hindi na siya babalik. Okay? So yun yung function ng ating sphincter. Okay? Next one. Okay? So, saan natin makikita yung ileocecal sphincter dito? Okay. Next, mag-start na ngayon tayo dun sa ating large intestine. Ito siya. Okay, mamaya babalikan po natin yan. Ano? Okay, punta naman ngayon tayo sa may ating liver. Okay, liver and your pancreas. Okay, so these are the 2 glands in our body that works both endocrine and exocrine. Okay, simulan natin ngayon kay liver. So our liver, roughly 3 pounds yung timbang niya. It's located in your upper right quadrant. Gawi rito, no? It has this what we call the porta. So when you say porta, hepatis porta, okay, let me just write it. Hepatis porta, hepati from the word hepato meaning liver, and then porta meaning gate. So it's the gate of the liver. Okay, ano po yung makikita natin dito? This is where your blood vessels, ducts, nerves, yung nerves na yan, all those ducts, enter and exit. Okay? So, ito yung itsura ng ating porta. There you go. Itong part po na to. Okay, dun sa may inferior view. Yan yung makikita ninyo. Diyan pumapasok sila. Okay, next one. Ayan, ito yung ating hepatis porta or porta hepatis. It's just the same. Diyan natin makikita. Diyan sila pumapasok. Okay? Next, our liver has this what we call the lobules. These are the division of your liver with portal triad sa may corner natin. Next one, itong portal triad naman na to, ito yung nagko-contain ng ating artery, ating vein, and also yung hepatic duct. This one. Okay? Next, we have the hepatic cord. These are actually between the central upper margin of each lobe, and they are being separated by your hepatic sinusoids. Okay, mapakita natin. Ayan, may mga lobes tayo rito. Porta, dyan makikita, we have here the lobes. Ayan. Next one, we have the hepatic sinusoids. They contain phagocytic cells that ginagawa ito from the name is phagocytic, meaning phagocyte. They remove foreign particles from the blood na pumapasok. What else? We have the central vein, kung saan, andito yung pinaka-center of each lobule. Ano pa? This is where mixed blood flows toward and also forms hepatic veins. Kung maalala ninyo yung discussion natin sa may vascular system, okay, sinabi ko sa inyo last time na yung tinatawag natin na hepatic portal. Hepatic, ayaw na magsulat ito na. Hepatic portal. Ayan. So, alam nyo na kung nasaan at ano yung function nila. Okay? So, next one, yan, meron din tayo tinatawag na hepatic duct. So, meaning, itong hepatic duct na to, dito nilalabas yung pinuproduce ng liver natin na bile. And itong bile na to, punta kay gallbladder and then dito siya ngayon malalabas. Okay, transport bile out of your liver. And then meron din tayo tinatawag na common hepatic duct. Okay, ito yung tumutulong, form from left and right hepatic duct. Okay, what else? We have the cystic duct. They join common hepatic duct from your gallbladder. I'll show you a picture later. Then we have the common bile duct. They form from common hepatic duct and your cystic duct. This part, okay? So ito yung ating cystic duct. Okay, and then we have here your hepatic duct. Okay, hepatic ducts. Meron tayo dito yung mga blood vessels natin. And then next, pag nag-join tong dalawa na to, we have the common bile ducts. Okay, and then from the common bile ducts, papasok ngayon yan, going to your duodenum. Okay? So, dyan na ngayon malalabas kung kinakailangan natin. And this is your gallbladder. So, as I mentioned to you, it stores what? It stores your bile. Ang function kasi ng bile, it's the emulsifier of the fats. So, pagka kumain tayo ng merong fats, our gallbladder will produce, maglalabas ngayon siya ng bile, pupunta ngayon siya dun sa may duodenum. So, itong fats na to na tinik natin will be emulsified. Okay? So, yun yung function niya. Next. So, ang liver po natin, as I mentioned to you nung cardiovascular system natin discussion, instead of saying, I love you with all my heart, it'll be better to say, I love you with my liver. Bakit? Kasi there are roughly 500 vital functions of your liver. While si heart, primarily, it pumps blood. And then, some basic function na lamang. Hindi lalagpas ng 5 function ng ating heart. So, in comparison with your liver, mas maraming function ng liver mo. Okay? Kaya nga, mas magandang sabihin, I love you with all my liver. Whatever. Okay? So, marami siyang function, but primarily, ito lang muna i-discuss natin, ano? Digestive and excretory functions. It stores and processes nutrients. It also detoxifies some harmful chemicals. So kapag nakakainom ka, ito yung tumutulong detoxify kapag lasing ka na. It also synthesizes new molecules kung saan, kung may kailangan tayong nutrients, the liver will help us. And also secretes about 700 ml of bile each day. So pag may kinakain tayo, as I mentioned to you, fatty, tumutulong po ang liver. So because itong bile na to, okay, it dilutes and neutralizes stomach acid and also break down those fats. Okay, so tumutulong siya. Kung naalala ninyo, yung naging discussion ko sa inyo before about cholelithiasis. So cholelithiasis, chole means your gallbladder. Lithiasis, lit meaning stone. So it's actually a stone formation in the gallbladder. So bakit nangyayari yun? Well, there are 3 reasons. Number 1 reason is pag masyadong mataas yung fats na kinakain mo. Okay, kain ka ng fats. Or kaya naman wala kang kinakain na fats. Pag sobrang kain mo sa may fats, your liver will produces more bile. Pag di ka naman kumakain ng fats, yung mga liver na na-produce yung bile na na-produce ng liver mo will stay only where? In your gallbladder. Kung di mo siya nagagamit, ano mangyayari? It will solidify, leading to what? Stone formation. And then the third one is hereditary po. Okay, so namamana po yan. Okay, the cholelithiasis. Yes. I actually had one. So, ayan. Okay, by the way, no, the one that controls the bile secretions is makikita natin dito, okay, through the use of your vagus nerve medulla. Okay. Next, let's talk about your pancreas. So, kasama ito ni liver. And also, your pancreas works as endocrine and also exocrine. Okay, so ito yung ang dalawang function ng ating pancreas. Okay, endocrine and exocrine. Okay, so it's located posterior to your stomach and inferior part of your left upper quadrant. Okay, magkatikit actually sila, si liver and then the pancreas. What else? It's, function niya, as I mentioned to you, endocrine. Bakit anong ginagawa niya? Kaya ang ginagawa kasi niya, nagpuproduce siya ng insulin or glucagon. In response to what? Kapag ka masyadong mataas, yung glucose, ayaw magsulat. Saglit. Your glucose, pag masyadong mataas or kaya naman masyadong mababa. So we have insulin and glucagon na tutulong in regulating the blood sugar. And also it works as an exocrine. Exocrine, maglalabas po siya ng mga digestive enzymes that will help in the digestion. Okay? It has major protein digesting enzymes known are the trypsin, the chymotrypsin, and also the carboxypeptidase. Okay, next one, pancreatic secretions. We have the pancreatic amylase. Ang ginagawa nato is what? It breaks down the carbohydrates na na-take natin. Especially, or should I say specifically, the polysaccharide. Remember, yung carbs natin sa katawan, it's divided, yung carbs, these are divided into three. We have the monosaccharide, disaccharide, and polysaccharide. Unfortunately, ang polysaccharide kasi, for example, starch, our body are having some trouble in digesting the starch or the polysaccharide. But with the help of the pancreatic amylase, natutulungan natin yung katawan natin na ma-digest po yun. Okay? And also, we have the pancreatic enzymes that are responsible naman for the lipids or yung, again, lipids, lipo, meaning taba. Okay, tumutulong din siya when it comes in breaking down those, what do you call this one? Foods. Okay, so as I mentioned to you, ito yung ating stomach. Andito ang ating liver. So, there you go. Okay. Ayan, meron silang connection na makikita natin sa may duodenum. Okay. So, ayan. So, same then with our bile. Same then, being controlled by your vagus nerve, being stimulated by your vagus nerve. Next one, let's talk about the large intestine, the last one. Okay? So, tapos na tayo sa may small intestine. Okay? So, yung pagkain natin, yung chyme na dun sa may small intestine, pupunta na ngayon sa may large intestine. I want you to remember na bolus na sa may mouth natin. Pagdating kay stomach, intestine, tawag natin is chyme. Pero pagdating po natin sa may large intestine, it's no longer a chyme. Instead, ano nang tawag natin sa kanya? Okay? Ano yan? Yan, mga langaw. Ang tawag na natin sa kanya ay feces. Yes po. Okay, pagpasok sa may large intestine, it's no longer a chyme. Instead, there are feces na. Okay? So, from large intestine, nag-start na po ang feces. Yes, but iba-iba yung itsura niya. Like, for example, nasa may first part pa lang tayo, the ascending colon. Iba ang itsura ng feces doon. Okay, medyo may pa siya, liquid form to mashed potato. Ganun yung itsura niya. Habang pababa siya ng pababa, papunta dun sa may rectum mo, nawawala yung pagiging liquid form niya. Bakit? Kasi ang function ng ating large intestine is what? It absorb water. Okay? Kaya from ascending colon, papunta dun sa may rectum mo, nawawala yung water na to. So kapag feces na siya, meron na siyang form, meron na siyang itsura. This one, your poop. Okay? So, the first part of your large intestine is what we call the cecum. Okay? So, I already touched this one a while ago. Doon sa may small intestine. Okay, ano meron dun sa sphincter na yon? The ileocecal valve or the ileocecal sphincter. By the way, ileocecal valve that valve has this what we call sphincter. But we can use it interchangeably. Pwede mo sabihin ileocecal valve or ileocecal sphincter. They are just the same, okay? So, from then on, papasok siya dun sa may isang part ng ating large intestine. That is what we call the cecum. Let me show you a picture. So, we have here the small intestine. Pasok siya sa may large intestine. Itong part na to, this is what we call the cecum. Ano yung sphincter dito? Naalala pa? We call it the ileocecal sphincter or ileocecal valve. Okay? Ito yung nagse-separate dito kay small intestine, kay large intestine. Okay? So, we call it the cecum. Ang cecum po natin, meron po yan yung finger-like appearance na, what do you call this one? Extended dun sa may yung cecum. Okay? That is your appendix. So, ang appendix natin roughly 9 cm yung haba po niya, but it depends from one person to another. Way back then, whenever they ask about the function of the intestine, they always say unknown. But that was way back then. Until one day, okay, they found out na ang function talaga ng ating small intestine is what? It stores the good bacteria sa ating large intestine. So, meaning to say, it helps in the what do you call this one? It helps in the defense mechanism of our body. Okay, kung kinakailangan natin ng good bacteria, nandyan sila sa may iyong appendix. But the thing is, napaka-minimal ng kanyang use to the point na naging useless po ang ating appendix. That is also the reason kapag nag-o-opera kami, like for example, TABSO, total abdominal bilateral hysterectosalpingo-oophorectomy. O kaya naman, nagsi-CS kami. Minsan, isinasabay na namin to. So, minsan yung doctor, they will ask the patient or the guardian, gusto po ninyo tanggalin na rin natin yung appendix. Bakit? Well, this is actually a way of preventing it to happen, yung appendicitis. So, tanggalin na natin ngayon para hindi mangyari in the future. So, yun, minsan sinasabay na namin yung pagtanggal ng appendix pagka nag-o-opera kami. Which is very helpful para ma-prevent just in case na magkaroon ka in the future na appendicitis. At least it will be prevented, di ba? But actually, there are far reason bakit ginagawa ng mga doktor yun. No. Hindi ko na sasabihin. Anyways, baka ma-report pa ako. Okay, so ayan. Kasi basically, wala po siyang use. So, useless po ang appendix. So, kahit tanggalin mo yan, wala po siyang effect sa may katawan natin. But according to Seeley, what do you call this one? Anatomy and physiology. Ang function nato is to store good bacteria in our large intestine. Okay? So, yun yung function niya. Pero, way back then daw, because of the evolution, nabasa ko lang, way back then, ang ating appendix, medyo malaki. It stores good bacteria, which is very helpful talaga. But because of the evolution of our organism, nagbago siya, lumit siya ng lumit to the point na nawala na siya ng use. So, yeah, anyway, it's just some of the theories that I have read before. Okay, so ayan. Ang large intestine po natin, also known as your colon, okay, it is 1.5 meter long, contains ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid regions. And also, we have this rectum, okay, o tinatawag nating bahay tae. Okay, bakit? Ito yung naglalaman po ng poop. Okay, so, yeah, isa-isahin po natin itong ating parts. Okay, so we have we have the ascending colon. When you say ascending colon, pataas. When you say transverse colon, transverse ganito. When you say descending, pababa. And then, after pababa, we have the sigmoid colon before going to your rectum. And then, the last part will be your anus. Okay? So, sabi nga nila, ito raw yung pinakamatalim na part ng katawan ng tao. Matalim siya kasi kaya niyang putulin yung tae. Yung mouth mo ba, kaya bang putulin yung tae? Di ba? Hindi. Anyway, joke lang po yun. Whatever. So, yeah. So, our anal canal, meron po yung anal sphincter pa din. Okay? It lasts 2 to 3 centimeter of your GI tract. Okay? Food takes about 18 to 24 hours bago siya pumunta dito. So, meaning to say, ang kinain ko ngayon, may de-defecate ko yan bukas na. So, about after 18 to 24 hours bago siya makapunta doon, bago siya maging pinakatay talaga. Okay? So, your feces are a product of water and digestible foods and some other microbes. So, some water, kasi nga inabsorb na siya ng large intestine. Mga indigested foods, katulad ng mais, ano pa ba, saluyot, vegetable na kinain mo that are high in fiber. And some other microbes na kinain mo din at saka nasa may large intestine mo. These microbes are very important, okay, in our large intestine because they synthesize vitamin K. This is actually the reason kung bakit, saglit lang ingay ng aso. Okay? These are very important. Kung matatandaan ninyo sa may EINC, sa mga bata, pagkapanganak, binibigyan na kagad natin ng vitamin K. Bakit? Because wala silang microbes or good bacteria sa kanilang large intestine para makapag-synthesize ng vitamin K. That's the reason. Kaya nagbibigay tayo ng mga newborn na vitamin K. Bibigay na tayo. Okay? Pero pag nagkaroon na ng edad, of course, okay, kapag pwede na silang kumain, nagkakaroon ng good bacteria doon, so they are able to synthesize the vitamin K na. What else? So, ayan, water. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, ang large intestine natin absorbs primarily water. So, ang feces mo na nasa may rectum, habang tinitiis mo ito, your body absorbs the water inside your poop. Kaya kapag tinitiis mo ito, ng tinitiis, hindi mo nilalabas, ano nangyayari? Nagiging isang matigas siya na feces. Pag di mo nailabas, delikado, it may also lead to fecal impaction. Meaning to say, tumigas, bumara na. Okay, so delikado yun. So, kailangan talaga mailabas. So, sabi nga, once you feel the urge na tumae, ilabas mo na. Okay, but of course, it depends on the situation. Hindi, nasa may school ka. Sa may school ka nag-aaral ka, you feel the urge, poop ka na kagad. No, of course not. Okay, depends on the situation. So, yan. So, we have here the cecum, that is the first part. Then, we have the ascending colon, pataas. We have the transverse, tagilid. And then, we have the descending colon, pababa. And then, pagdating dito, we have the sigmoid. So, para mas madaling maalala ninyo, sigmoid siya kasi para siyang letter S. Ito siya. Letter S. Para siyang letter S. Sigmoid. So, sigmoid colon. And then, afterwards, will be your rectum. Dito na may store yung poop. Okay? So, let's talk about the digestive process. Malapit na tayo matapos. Okay? Number 1, digestion. So, saan nagsisimula? Mouth pa lang, nag-start na po ang digestion. Okay, we break down those large particle of foods, okay, para maging bolus. And then, paglunod po natin yan, going to your stomach, we now have a chyme. Meron tayong tinatawag na propulsion. From the name itself, propulsion, you are pushing it. Pinupush ng katawan natin yan from your esophagus, going to your stomach, and then to your intestine. Through what? Sa may contraction, peristalsis, and segmentation. Next will be absorption. So, ano man yung mga essential nutrients na pwedeng makuha dun sa kinain natin, it will be absorbed by our body. Stomach pa lang po nagkakaroon ng absorption, but primarily, ang absorption po nangyayari po sa may 2 parts ng ating intestine. That is your duodenum and jejunum. Okay? And then, other nutrients will be absorbed then as the chyme or feces go along. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung majority of the water being absorbed in the large intestine. And then lastly, ito yung pinaka-final will be the defecation. Ilalabas na po siya ng ating katawan in a form of feces. So yeah, okay. That is the end of my discussion. From here, we have the bolus. Pasok, we have a chyme. Sa may stomach po natin, okay, dyan magkakaroon ng another digestion. It will be broken, the foods, the chyme that we eat, it will be broken down to smaller particles. Tutulungan yan noong acid, tutulungan yan ng enzymes na nasa may stomach. So, there are minimal absorption na nangyayari po rito. Pagpasok dito sa may first layer, okay, the first layer of our intestine, we have the duodenum. Magkakaroon na rito ng absorption ng essential nutrients. Some other foods here will be absorbed. It will be helped by 2 glands known as your liver and your pancreas. Dalawa na to ay tutulong sa pagda-digest. Okay, from duodenum pupunta ngayon siya dun sa ating pangalawa, which is the jejunum. This is the second part. And then lastly will be the ileum. So medyo minimal na rito ang pag-absorb. From ileum, papasok ngayon siya dun sa ating large intestine. Sa large intestine natin, meron tayong cecum. We have cecum, and then pakyat, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, then we have the sigmoid colon, and then we have the rectum. Sa rectum, dito na mapupunta yung tae. Okay? Since sa large intestine nagkakaroon na absorption ng water, hanggang mapunta siya sa may rectum mo, magkakaroon pa rin po ng minimal absorption ng water. Kaya yung poop mo, wag mo siyang tiisin. Kasi habang tinitiis mo siya, pinagtatagal mo sa may rectum mo, mawawala at mawawala yung tubig na to. Kaya pagka nilabas mo siya, medyo mahihirapan ka na. Okay? So, pag nilabas natin yan from rectum, magkakaroon ng opening, that is your anus. Sa anus natin, meron tayong tinatawag na anal sphincter. So, yun yung mag-open at yun din yung, for example, kailangan mo nang ikat yung tae mo. So, siya yung magko-close para makat. Okay? So, yan, there you go. You now have your poop. Okay? So, ang poop natin contains, yun nga, digested foods, some microbes, some water. Okay? So, yeah. So, that is the digestive system. I hope you've learned something from this simple discussion. Again, medyo superficial lang ang naging discussion natin. Because no need for us to make it in-depth. And because in the first place, mauulit din ang discussion natin sa may digestive system pagdating natin dun sa may another subject natin, which is nutrition. Okay? So yeah, if you have further question, you can ask me. You can ask me also to give you another discussion if you want to for more in-depth discussion for this one. So yeah, that ends my discussion. Yeah, that's it. Bye guys.